Here we are with our first double feature on the Inside UCLA blog. Tony Dye, UCLA junior safety, talking a little bit about Tony Dye off the field today, or at least off the football field, because there's a hockey rink involved in this. That's pretty interesting. And apparently a few lakes and maybe a few wakeboards. Tony, talk about what the season's been like for you, and then we'll kind of get into the more off the field stuff.
Definitely been a nice little emotional roller coaster, but we're on a high right now, so I plan on staying on a high.
Obviously, coming off a 31-13 win, pretty big win over number 23 Houston, knocked out a couple of their quarterbacks. That must have been interesting. What is it like to watch when a guy like Case Keenum, a Heisman hopeful, a guy that you've heard not just in pregame, preparation, but a guy that you watch on ESPN or you see in the magazines? What's it like when a guy like him goes down, and then to knock out a second one?
Well, I mean, the hype, or maybe not. He's a great quarterback, so I'm not going to call it hype, but it's definitely it really didn't affect me personally because we see those kind of players in the Pac-10 every week.
Yeah.
Jake Locker, Andrew Luck, we see them all. So it was kind of just like another guy coming in. But when he got knocked out, unfortunately for him, I wish him the best. That's a terrible thing. It's the worst injury you can have. But it was definitely an uplift for our defense. Like we came out there, we wanted to be physical, and that's what we were. We hurt their first two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So we definitely don't wish hurt on anybody, but it was great for us.
But a little pain is good.
Yeah, a little violence.
A little violence. Tony, talk about your hockey career, because that's something that you bring. You talk about violence. You bring that straight from the rink to the field. Tony used to be a junior hockey star. You almost played hockey in Minnesota. You almost gave up football, or not even gave up football. You didn't have football at that point. You almost took that path to playing, juniors and high school prep schools and everything like that. What was it like to give up hockey when you had that decision? It was either, tell me if I'm wrong or right, it was either go to Minnesota and play high school hockey or give it up because, the finances and everything.
Yep. I mean, like you said, finances were a problem, and I had an opportunity to, extend my hockey career in Minnesota, do what I had to do that. But I was just too young. If like I said, if it would have been a year later, I'd be, somewhere on the East Coast right now, drinking hot chocolate and playing on the ice. And I definitely wouldn't have a problem with that. It's the best sport in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that, but I'm definitely okay with the route I'm at now.
And Tony, you played in the World Juniors against Czech Republic in the championship, right? What age range was that?
It was 12 to 14, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm not incorrect. But I think for the Czech Republic it was 22 to 24 because they were huge. I definitely think they're probably all playing college football somewhere right now.
College football,
yeah.
They're off.
Yeah,
a lot of Czechs in college football, I bet. Tony, tell me what that experience was like. You kind of going away. I'm sure with hockey you go away all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's not exactly a flourishing Southern California hockey league, I assume. What was it like to kind of be one of those barnstormers going to Canada for these tournaments? And this specific tournament was in Quebec, right?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely, I think it kind of translated well for me in terms of like away games and stuff like that, because traveling really doesn't bother me. And, it was definitely a nice experience. You get to see, some different parts of the world, all that good stuff. So you get to broaden your horizons. But I think the most important thing was I got to be in front of crowds all the time. So, when I go out there on Saturdays now, I don't even see the crowd.
Where's the craziest place you went?
Probably Quebec.
Quebec?
Yeah, definitely Quebec. Because that's far east Canada.
Yeah.
So, they love it out there. They all speak French and, they bleed hockey. So.
And hockey is your, sport.
Yeah.
Would you say you follow hockey more in terms of the game than you would follow football? Or you now moved on to football?
This past year, I've been fading away. Unfortunately, I've been fading away. I don't want to, but it's kind of just happening naturally. Yeah. But I'll always claim hockey as number one.
Who's your favorite player?
Mike Madonna.
Mike Madonna.
Yeah.
I like that. North Stars, then Dallas Stars.
Yep. He's
I know my hockey.
Bird, but,
I know my hockey. He was in Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Right? He was at the beginning of Mighty Ducks. He gave him the flag. I know
North
this stuff.
Stars, yeah.
Tony, last couple questions for you. You're a history major. Is that something you plan on using? If the next level, if the NFL doesn't happen for you, is that something you really care about? Do you have any kind of career aspirations beyond football if that doesn't happen?
I mean, contrary to popular belief, I actually enjoy history.
Okay.
So, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's the easiest major." No, I actually enjoy history. That's why I'm in the history major. We can't all be all Toronto Veterans.
No one can be all. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
That guy is amazing. But if I don't make the league, then maybe take a shot at being coach first. Football's my life, so I'd like to stay in it. If not, then maybe lean towards being a teacher.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Especially history. So
is that something that you pride yourself on the football field? That kind of leadership aspect and that kind of teaching role. You have a guy behind you, Dietrich Riley, who's young and obviously full of potential. Are you trying to take that kind of leadership teaching role with him?
Oh yeah, and it's not a conscious decision. It just kind of happens. I have a tattoo on my chest that says "Born to Lead." It's just kind of the way I live my life. I'm an older brother. It's just kind of something that's natural to me.
Nice. Tony Dye, that's great stuff. Tony Dye, UCLA junior safety here on the double feature on the Inside SoCal blog. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.